Hi, this is Roger, thanks for dropping by. Just to let you know, well there's more, but I'm not going to do the everything in bloom today. I'm going to leave it for as long as it takes, because there's one that I need to include that's only just started to open. Now hopefully it will be open tomorrow. If not, I'm going to wait. It's not on the 8th, so when it is doesn't really matter that much. Right, I've got an unboxing to do, but just to give you an update, with the 10k subscribers draw, 2 of the first prize winners have now had their vouchers sorted, so they're clear, and those were the USA and the rest of the world. So if you were drawn second or third in either of those 2 categories, apologies, but you won't be needed because the prize has been claimed successfully. The one that's outstanding is the EU, and I've still had no contact whatsoever. Nothing. Yeah? The videos are there. I mean, in my opinion, if you take part in a draw, you know, and it's destined to be drawn at a certain point in time, like the weekend just gone, I would suggest you come back and have a look and see how you've done. I'm not chasing people because I have no means to do so. You know, the prize will either be claimed or I will move to the second. And if that doesn't get, obviously I'll notify, you know, do a video to say what's happened. Yeah, so first 2 sorted out nice and quick. You know, information came via an email. I got straight onto the site, organised the voucher, did a conversion for the exchange rate for the particular country, and they've received their voucher. So that's 2 down, 1 to go. So I believe the winner of the EU that has still yet to make contact was something like Happy Universe 62. But the draw is there, the video's there, you know, it's up to people to chase it up, not me up to chase them. Right, let's get this unboxing done. This will be the last one for the year. I can't see me buying any more, and unless something that I've been after for ages just turns up, then I'm not going looking. So this will be the last little set. So let's get this done. Okay, let's see what we've got. First observations. That is an incredibly flimsy box. Still, never mind. Now, my problem thumb is giving me no pain at all, providing I don't bend it. And I'm fine not bending it in my sleep, because I just leave my hand outside the duvet on the pillow. It seems to stay there all night okay. Woken up last night rather suddenly because one of the cats decided to lick my hand as it was there and available. This is the problem when I start doing things, because I forget to keep my thumb rigid like that. As long as I keep it like that, I'm fine. And it'll wiggle all those, everything's fine except for that bit. If I bend that bit, we talk about it. And it's very easy to forget. I've got mounts to do, repotting to do, and I know that if I attempt to do those things, I will be concentrating on what I'm doing and I'll forget about my thumb and I'll bend it. So I'm putting those things off until my brace arrives, which should be in the next day or 2, at which point, although doing those jobs will be fiddly with a brace on, I've got a guarantee that I don't bend my thumb. So we can cuss about other things, but not that, because that should be okay. I don't know why, I've got a feeling that these aren't going to be good plants. I just don't know why. Even though it's a supplier I've used many times, although not so much recently. Luckily they're well wrapped. Right, let's get the plants themselves out and then we can get rid of the box. There should be, as I say, there should be 3 in here if I remember rightly. I can't for the life of me remember what they are. I was just going to say, but hopefully there'll be an invoice in here, which there isn't. That's not very good, is it? Well, hopefully there'll be tags on the plants then, because I've forgotten what the hell I ordered. I know there's a Dendrobium in there. That'll be the big one. I think. Might be. I've just forgotten. Right. Let's make sure we do this. See, you think little simple things like using scissors, almost impossible without using your thumb. But luckily when you use scissors with your thumb, you tend to keep it straight anyway. As long as it stays straight, we are a happy bunny to a degree. As I say, this one's mounted, and the first thing that's happened is the bottom of the mount's fallen off, which implies it's rotten. Well, the thing is, no wood lasts forever. If you're going to mount orchids, the cork bark will last longer than probably anything else, unless you use a piece of hardwood, possibly. What on earth is that? Well, it looks like an Oncidium type, and it's mounted. Oh, jolly good. Ah. I don't know why I picked on this. I thought somewhere in my collection we need to have something that I've never heard of and can't pronounce. This is it. Never heard of it. However, it does have blooms I'm very interested in. So there you go, you can try and pronounce that for your flipping self. Mexicoa, so that's the genus, and then the species is... I'm not going to attempt to say that. That is just a ridiculous word. That word shouldn't exist in any language. You can do your own thing with that. I'm not going to attempt to mess with that. Oh, yes, I was attracted by the picture of the blooms, even though it's not in bloom. And it is, in effect, I believe, an Oncidium type. Ow! That's one. See what I mean? Just lose concentration. Oh, how? Luckily it's a stabbing pain, which is over instantly. So you talk about it and then forget it. It is a flipping nuisance, I'll tell you that. And I'm amazed out of the whole world, I've got some people that watch my channel, and I was quite amazed how many people of those watching my channel actually have this problem and have been dealing with it for a while. Oh my god, this is a bit squashed. It does have blooms on it though, although they think they've seen better days. Yeah, I think rather than just opening, I think they might be going over. But nonetheless, it obviously is blooming size. It's a tiny little bit squashed on the front there, but not enough to worry about. It's got reasonable roots, some, not many, but it's got some. And this is an Orchid, and it's one I've been after for a while. The blooms don't do it justice here because I think they're going over, but it's Luteo alba, but it's the variety Rhodosticta, and it's one of the few Orchids that has colour on it. Basically it's a creamy white, possibly hint of green, but it has an orange centre, an orangey red centre. So that's why I've got that one. It's different. It's obviously an Orchid that forms extensions as well, because if you look on here, the actual centres, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly 5 individual little plantlets there. Now that might be because somebody just grabbed a handful of seedlings and mounted them on, you know, together, because they couldn't be bothered to separate them. That's why we often end up with 2 in a pot. The mass producers, it's better for them to have, given the averaged out cost of a seedling in the way that they're produced is negligible. It's better to have 2 in the pot to go through the automated process than it is to have none. So they go on the grounds of 2 will do, and if 1 fails, they've still got something to sell. In business terms, that does make sense. And then the last one is the Dendrobium. hopefully this has got a tag on it because it's unusual. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do this. Just. See a nice new growth for a start. Now this has been grown on, so we're starting with tiny little pseudo bulbs, gradually moving up, getting bigger and bigger and bigger, up to the point where one here looks like it's actually bloomed, or at least got ready to bloom. And we have some new root tips showing. It's got moss and grit on it, so I know exactly where this originated. And it's not only that writing is just should have been a doctor, mate. That's just awful. I'll do pop-ups. I'm not even going to attempt to read that. In fact, I'm going to throw it away. I'm so annoyed. If you're going to write a label, write it so it can be, and that's in capital letters, and it's not readable. Ugh. Anyway, I'll do a pop-up. This is an interesting one. It's effectively a Latoria type, but only just. It's an unusual cross I've never heard of before, and the blooms, if I can steal the picture, I'll see if I can get the picture of the bloom up, because it will be difficult to find, I suspect. That's a nice plant. That's a good sized plant. It's got good roots, and I need to keep those roots, which if it stays in there too long probably ain't going to happen. So I've got two mounts here. Let me just see, so I'm just getting something to catch see if this will lift out. Yeah, it's in moss. It's had some grit put on the top, which I don't want. But what's in the moss doesn't look bad for now, but not for long. Again, if this is a Latoria type, it's not going to want to get cold. It's going to get colder than it would like, and the last thing it wants is a soggy root ball in low temperatures. So that's got to be done with some urgency. Not like drop everything, but with some urgency. I'll write a new label for that one from the order in my writing so that I can read it. That's just awful. Can't even be bothered with it. But it is a nice plant. And as I said, this little Arangus I've had my eye on for a while. Old flower spike. It doesn't look too bad. It has got, you know, I mean, there's evidence of growing roots, which is good stuff. So it's actively growing. It's an odd-shaped plant, in as much as, you know, that's a type of Arangus. Yes, it's a small one. But you can see this one has similarities, but I wouldn't say it's the same sort of thing. And this one is a smaller version. But with a decent spike on this plant, with a good few flowers on it, the flowers are very attractive and, like all the other Arangus, fragrant. So that's that little one. It's quite nice. And as I said, this one, to all intents and purposes, you can think of it as an Oncidium type, which it basically is. As far as the plant's concerned, it's got roots. Whatever this wood is appears to be quite hard. Looks like that's wood that's often used in aquariums, that type. Very hard wood, in which case, if that's what it is. But some of the roots have attached, so it's okay with this wood. I don't see any active roots actually growing. See, I'm not sure whether that's an old small pseudo bulb. Starting at this end, you've got small little pseudo bulbs getting bigger and bigger up to this one. So this is going to be the latest growth, which doesn't look like it's bloomed. So this may not have bloomed yet, this plant. So maybe on the next one, maybe on the next bulb. But at the moment, there's no sign of a new growth yet. Nonetheless, these are good firm bulbs. Leaves aren't too bad. Moss is dry, needs a drink. So that's my latest three, and probably I can reasonably safely say that will be my last three new plants. For somebody who's not supposed to be getting many orchids, which I gave up that idea earlier in the year, because I threw so many out, you know, tired ones, ones that had lost their shine, ones that refused to grow. You know, we cleared out a fair old bit. I came down from 250 to about 160. And that was the last count at that point. So in theory, we've had quite an upsurge from that point, but we haven't, because since I've done that count, a few others have gone. Yeah? So I suspect I'm around 165-ish, maybe 170, which I'm happy with. And to say, who knows, next spring we might have another flipping clear out. Who knows? So those 3 plants didn't turn out as bad. I don't know why, I just had this anticipation that they weren't going to be very good, but they're okay. The Dendrobium will have to come out of that pot reasonably soon before those roots go. You know, they're destined to go if it stays as it is, especially with my lower temperatures. Okay, and the everything in bloom video will probably be tomorrow, but I'm not guaranteeing. It might be the day after. There is a particular plant that I want to open before I do that video. Well, I suppose I could do the video and just film that as a separate thing. I'll have a think about it, but not today anyway. And that person who won the EU category, you've got till Wednesday. Today's Monday. You need to get your act together. I'm not chasing around. It's not up to me to do that. It's up to you to get in touch. Please do so. Otherwise you forfeit your claim. Simple as that. Can't help it, you know. If you're on holiday, well then perhaps it wasn't a good idea to enter, was it? You know, I can't fanny around people all the blinking time. You've got to look after yourself. So hopefully that person will get in touch, or I shall move to the second one and contact will be made on Wednesday should I need to do so. Right, that's that. I'll see you next time. Bye for now. I'm hoping my brace is going to arrive either tomorrow or Wednesday. And that way at least I can carry on working. You know, there's all sorts of things I can still do without the need for a thumb that bends, as long as I don't bend it inadvertently, which hurts. So we'll work towards that. I'll see you next time.